What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Joe Blackburn, current Chano World Champion, and I am back to host the second AMA Ask Me Anything here with the founder, Adam Barlam. He'll be on in just a minute. And folks, let me start off with this. You know, I worked really hard, and when Adam came to me, he was like, "Hey, Joe, will you do the second AMA and host it for me?" I was like, "Please, thank you. I'm so fond of Adam as such a friend and as someone who I've watched, build in this space where it can be so difficult. Adam Barlam is different, and I consider him very close as far as relationships go. But for him to ask me to do this again means number one, I didn't do a bad job the first time, and number two, that obviously there is a lot to talk about, and he's really excited, and he trusted me with some information yesterday, and then I get on today to go outline the show with him that I worked really hard on, and he's like, "Just throw it away, Joe. I got an announcement." I'm like, "What?" So as soon as Adam gets on, he's going to go through that. But a couple of things we're going to talk about today, and I've got it outlined in front of me. Marketing. Adam said we're going to touch base on marketing, streamer acquisitions, the user base, play to earn update. I think that there is multiple updates, should I say, new hires and partnerships, along with the new dashboard, and last but not least, new games. And I'm sure there's plenty of other things. Also, if you're watching, feel free to leave a comment or question in the comments. We got the Telegram AMA channel that a lot of people have already put comments and questions on. So we'll try to hit as many as we can, folks. Keep this as short as possible so it doesn't drag out to some 90-minute AMA. But you know what, Adam? If it happens, it happens. Anyways, all right. So lots of folks watching already. Shout out to the Chain Gang. I know Adam's excited, so I'll bring him on here in a minute. But folks, I'm going to tell you, I was not prepared for this. I was not ready. And I mean, I don't know how you kept it such a secret for so long, Adam, but nevertheless, let's bring him on first, everybody. It's the man of the hour. It is the CEO, the founder, El Presidente, Mr. Adam Barlam. What's up, Adam?
What's going on, Joe? What's going on, Chain Gang? Super excited for our second AMA here. And hey, let's just dive right into it and talk about this major, massive announcement that I've kind of been alluding to. So we've been in talks for the previous few weeks with a group, a very, very, very large group. And I wanted to announce that we have actually formed an exclusive partnership with one of the largest Facebook gaming group communities around. More than 260,000 members that are active, continuously playing video games and sharing their results to Facebook. And we are going to have direct access to this user base of 260,000 plus users. We are going to be the preferred exclusive partner with them for tournaments, for esports, for giveaways. We're going to have moderator access. And basically, we're going to be able to pull in this massive user base into our ecosystem almost instantly. Yeah, and the best thing about it, sorry, go ahead, Joe.
No. Best thing about it. Let's go.
The best thing about it is that these users, they don't even need to be crypto-centric, because what we've been setting up in the background is the ability for these users not to use MetaMask, not to have to, understand crypto, but basically to sign on to our system with either a Facebook account or a Discord username and instantly get a wallet that's connected into our ecosystem.
No, that's a huge thing, especially, I mean, folks, most of you are probably at least familiar with gaming, especially if you're in this. But if you're not, Discord is kind of the platform of choice to communicate, right? Whether it be a chat group where you can go, it's kind of like Telegram if you're not familiar with Discord, but it's also a voice channel where a lot of people just shut off the computer or the Xbox or PlayStation voice channels, and they just use Discord because they can talk to each other so crisply and cleanly. But regardless, you can now just use your Discord that they're already probably using anyways. Log in with your wallet, and also, just have this community that already exists on side there. But going back to the major announcement here with this Facebook group, and I mean, Adam, does it revolve around any certain game? Like, can you expand on this, or is this a secret still, or what are you ready to go into detail on?
I think the cat's kind of out of the bag. We can kind of talk about it. It's the largest Call of Duty group that's around right now. There are quite a few Call of Duty groups on Facebook. This is definitely the largest, definitely the most active, the most engaged, 260,000 plus members, thousands, joining every single day. I want to give a shout out to Crossbow Mike. He was actually the one that orchestrated this and introduced us to the group admins and the group owners. And let me just tell you, they are ecstatic to be working with us. They've been looking for this type of partnership for years, and finally they told us that other platforms had approached them, but really they couldn't find a platform that fit their needs and actually did what they said it could do. They had other platforms that they trialed out and they had issues with payments. And, I explained the whole blockchain thing, how it's automated through our smart contracts, that we don't even touch the user funds or user tokens. This is an entirely automated system. And they were just like gangbusters ready to go. So within the next 2 weeks, we're setting up all the tournaments, all the agreements, getting everything, all of our I's dotted and T's crossed. And we are going to be pretty much the exclusive partner of this group. And they're going to strictly cater to our ecosystem, and they're going to be our new audience and our new user base that we can cater to.
Absolutely. And you got people asking questions like crazy. Rob's asking, what's the group called? Is this waiting for the official announcement or is this the official? I mean, what are we doing?
I think we can say the name of the group. The name of the group is British Ghost Gaming. So,
and also when I was looking at this, it's actually called something different than that, but that is the actual, I guess, the entity.
That's the entity, and that's like the URL name. They are strictly a video game gaming group that primarily focuses on Call of Duty. There are some other games that are in there, but I would say 95% of it is probably Call of Duty, and we are going to be directly tapped into them. The admin of the group, Richard, is working directly with us. He's stoked about this. He's going to be posting about it. And basically, we feel that we're going to be able to be this bridge and this segue to bring this entire huge, massive Facebook group, literally 250,000 members into our ecosystem and into our platform.
Yeah, and I'm very good friends with Crossbow Mike, and some of the stuff that I was able to kind of hear about from the back channels. There's obviously a very extensive amount of explaining that can go into all the things that are going to go on with this. And from what you also divulged to me prior to this call and made me throw away all my notes because you wanted to switch it up on me. Long and the short, there's a tremendous amount of information that's going to come out of this. And there will be a moment in time very soon, I'm sure, that you will let them know. But we do have a lot of other things to cover. And something else you threw on me was marketing. And one of the things you had alluded to in our conversation, Adam, was that, a lot of people have asked about marketing and you've been being very patient, trying to put yourself in a position to do this properly. Do you want to expand on that as we kind of get into it?
Absolutely. So I'd say that's a very common question we've received, even over the past year. I mean, we've been around for a little over a year. It was just our birthday on August 26th. We've accomplished a ton in a year. And I would say, 70% of the questions that we get are, when are you guys going to start marketing? And you have to understand from a gaming perspective, from a user perspective, marketing needs to occur when the user experience and the user interface is appropriate and is easy for a user to engage with. The worst thing to do is to start marketing for a product that isn't ready, and a gamer or user comes into it and they're turned off by it and they never come back, even when you start marketing. So that was our main caveat that we had to get over. Now, the fact that we have the new dashboard live, the Taurus wallet is integrated, we have the Transact fiat on-ramp and off-ramp for non-US customers. We think we're at a point now where we're really ready to start that marketing initiative. And we've actually set aside a budget of $500,000 to get going with this marketing initiative.
$500,000 marketing budget?
Correct.
Like tomorrow or like over the next...
Moving forward over the next year.
Okay, so over the next 12 months, you have set aside over $500,000 or around $500,000
Correct.
of marketing budget. And that's a huge number, Adam.
That's a very big number. And, this is, we wanted to show the community that this is not a fly by night project. This isn't just something that we're going to set up and then take down the next day. We needed to build the ground layer and the building blocks of this ecosystem, of the entire environment, before we were actually ready to commit that type of marketing budget and those types of dollars to really expand this into the mainstream world. And, you start to see, NFTs are becoming mainstream. Celebrities are talking about them. Steph Curry just bought a Bored Ape and changed his Twitter profile of it. Crypto is starting to become mainstream, and we're going to be at the forefront of bringing all these people over, not from just the NFT space, but from the gaming space into blockchain gaming.
No, that I applaud those efforts, Adam. And when I added marketing and marketing budget to these notes I did not expect that. That's amazing, man. So Chain Games will be implementing around $500,000 marketing budget over the next 12 months. It's a huge deal. That's amazing, Adam. As both a chain holder and a supporter of you and your projects, that makes me very happy. But more importantly, I know that the Chain Gang, the people who have been part of this, and especially the ones who've been here from the start, they've seen so much go on, and I know that they are true believers. I know that they're going to be excited to hear that. So I'm going to outline a few other things, folks, for the show, for everybody who's watching. If you're just now joining us, we have covered quite a bit. There's a Facebook group with 260,000 members on it. That there's a partnership coming on with Chain Games.
Exclusive partnership. We are going to be the only ones working with this group.
And as you told me, actually, it's also exclusive for them. We're only going to work with them initially and
Correct.
really work out, I guess, not only we're going to be able to work out the kinks, but really kind of build this community inside the actual gaming community. And folks, that's such a big deal for use case. I mean, it's one thing to talk about it in crypto, and typically that can be very, investment centric. And that's clearly not the purpose of the chain token. The chain token is to be used in this world. The crypto world expects certain types of information. Well, here you go. This is as big as it gets, in my opinion. Now, moving forward, there's a few other things, and Adam will kind of hit this step by step. But I guess we can do streamer acquisition next. This kind of makes sense now with everything going on. Marketing, okay, makes sense. Check mark. Now, you talked about first the partnership, streamer acquisitions. What exactly does that even mean?
So one of the goals of getting users on our platform is approaching streamers that, whether they're low, mid, high level tier streamers, and getting their audience to understand that we actually exist. And one of our goals is to approach these streamers and get them to play our games, so that then their audience can see what's going on and watch these high profile streamers earning money playing video games. There's right now you have to be a professional gamer really to earn money playing video games. The fact that we can open this up now for pretty much any gamer who feels that they're good enough to start earning some money is huge. And what we're actually doing is we've developed a bracket-based system to encourage and entice these streamers to really get onto our platform. So, Joe, I know you're big into college sports. I'm sure you're familiar with like the March Madness NCAA tournament bracket style. We've implemented an automated bracketing system where an influencer can actually create their own bracket with their own private customized link and URL. They can choose the entry amounts, and then they will actually receive commissions off users that join these private tournaments. So it encourages them and it incentivizes them to market it, to advertise it to their user base, because they're going to be getting a little bit out of it. And then the prizes will all be, same thing. It's all locked into the chain smart contracts. And then the brackets will automatically determine who won, who lost. Single elimination, double elimination. Users will move up into a Sweet 16, an Elite Eight, a Final Four, a final game type of format. And then the tokens are paid out accordingly. And the fact that we can have these streamers being able to really get a little piece of the pie for themselves is massive, because they're going to really want to market this and advertise it, to their community. So it's great. It's like we're going to have all these little, marketers everywhere, from low level streamers to high level streamers that are talking about this and pushing out these tournaments because they want to be incentivized as well.
It really sounds, as far as a concept goes, it actually kind of sounds like Twitch in its early days. I remember when I first heard about Twitch and how people were expected, and like how it'd be $5 per month to just watch someone's channel. I was like, no one's going to use that. They integrated, if you have an Amazon Prime membership, blah, 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 got it out there, became very popular. That's what this kind of starting to feel like, eh?
This is going to be like a Twitch for esports type of ordeal.
Interesting.
And these streamers now are going to be able to double down. They can not only earn from their Twitch streams and users subscribing to their Twitch stream, but they're going to be able to earn as well from these brackets and these tournaments that they're setting up.
Although this is not actually part of the outline that we talked about, Adam, I think this is an important concept. Little Hands here says, sounds like gambling. And I know you've heard this probably a million times in a row. And that's, it's really a misunderstanding in a lot of ways from the community. But why don't you hit that real quick? Maybe especially for some of these newer people, or someone like Little Hands who has this concept. Oh, it sounds like gambling. Well, what is this?
This is games of skill. It's esports. It's no different than the Call of Duty leagues that are going on. There's a big differentiation between games of chance and games of skill. Your games of chance are gambling like craps and roulette and casino games, where it's all random based. And then you have your games of skill, where it actually is your own skill that you're wagering on, such as playing Call of Duty or playing FIFA or Madden or NBA or something like that. So there's a big differentiation between that in the gaming and in the legal world.
Yep. And I think back, and feel free, if you don't have to comment on this, Adam. I don't know I'm impartial here, right? So as far as I'm unrelated, I guess is the better word. But, I look at DraftKings and I look at, FanDuel. I play these things all the time. These are how things are going to be able, these things are already happening, folks. This is not new. The concepts are not new. The ideas might be unique, but they're not new, as far as many other people are trying to do other things that are unrelated. Now, moving on, I'm sorry to interrupt the AMA. I think that's a great distinction to make, though.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a question that we get a lot. So it's great to, offer the clear distinction between the two.
Yep. So on this, I'm actually going, because I want to kind of put some of these things together, but I will give you a chance to talk about the new bet dashboard, which is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I don't know if you want to expand on that at all, but I absolutely love it, and I look forward to what the user experience is like.
Yeah, so that was one of the major things that we're looking forward to before we started this whole marketing phase and these partnerships is that, we want to make sure that the user experience and the user interface is as easy to use as possible, as straightforward and streamlined, because like I said, if you push out a product that is janky, doesn't work as well, is clunky, is a bad user experience, you're going to turn off the user and they're never going to come back to your platform. So, we worked very, very hard on developing this new dashboard that's super slick looking, super easy to use, fully integrated with the Taurus wallet, which we talked about, which you can use your Facebook account, Twitter, Discord, all these different social networks to easily connect and create a wallet and not have to worry about the complexities of like MetaMask or Trust Wallet or one of those other wallets. It really allows us to expand into the non-crypto base and really get these new users who have never used crypto before in their life and really show them like, hey, this is super easy. You've used other platforms where you have to log in with your Facebook account or log in with your Apple account.
Sometimes I prefer that, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to divulge your email address potentially or other personal information, and you can instead go through your existing social media accounts.
Absolutely. So, as much as I want to talk about that, we can come back and hit some of these. I think this is a great time. Look, we got another question from the audience, and folks, I've seen all the other questions too. We're going to get to that towards the end, but because some of this stuff is so relevant to what's coming up next, Adam, as noted, we have this question here. What is the difference between Axie and chain games? Well, on our overview, one of the things we want to talk about are these play to earn games. And Adam, you explained and described what this initial you know what? I'm going to back up. There's 2 new games coming out, which you threw on me. I found that out yesterday, by the way. So what did you explain? How did you explain the Axie Infinity game? I don't know if it's appropriate for you to say, but this is what maybe Adam will tell you what he told me.
Sure. So Axie Infinity, props to them. They built a pretty good RPG game. It's a play to earn game. But that's just one game. It's one game in their ecosystem. We're building an entire ecosystem that supports a plethora of games and multiple games. And what we're building in terms of like Super Crypto Battle and all these play to earn games is literally going to be Axie Infinity on steroids. So I guess this is a perfect opportunity to talk about our sister token that we're planning on launching.
Another announcement?
This is not going to be an ICO or anything like that, but almost like you have your Smooth Love Potion in Axie or SLP, we're going to have, we're calling it internally eChain for Earn Chain. It could change. We're not sure yet. We may change the name of that. But basically, that's going to be a play to earn token where you're going to be playing like the Super Crypto Battle game that we're coming out with or other games where we can enable play to earn capabilities. And you're going to earn this new token. And the best part is that it's going to complement the chain token. So, for instance, you're going to be playing Super Crypto Battle in a in like the zombie mode or the survival mode, where you're doing rounds and rounds and rounds, and however far you get, that would dictate how many of these new tokens that you earn. Well, after you earn these new tokens, you may be eligible to get a new NFT, a new NFT weapon, a new NFT item. And basically, the way that you're going to be able to get these items is that you're going to have to combine your eChain with your chain tokens, put them together with our smart contract, and it's going to mint a new NFT based upon those amount of tokens that you're combining together and then burn those out of existence. So we're going to be, the supply of both of these tokens are going to be continually deflating as a result of these users using these tokens that they're earning, buying chain tokens potentially on the marketplace, combining them together and getting new NFTs and new items out of it.
Well, that is awesome. And I think if you look at the success and continued success of some of these games, where I feel like at some point people are going to get burnt out on some of these games, to have a concept that continues to, I guess, really to say it just pays people, right? Like people are playing these because it's literally providing an income and there's enough going on. Hey, you're in front of it. These NFTs, this concept. I mean, one of the we didn't even get into the fact that we have NFTs, to discuss on the overview, did we, Adam? We can hit that here in a minute. But okay, so let's continue with this semi overview and in depth, step by step, folks. This is a lot of information. If we don't move along quickly, we won't have a chance to get to your token or your questions about the token or about the project, about whatever it might be. So just to refresh what Adam just said, there is going to be an integration of a secondary play to earn token, and this is going to allow this Axie Infinity on steroids. Quote him. It's something real. There is a lot to be said about what the platform enables to be done. And, this kind of, go ahead and let's lead into partnerships, Adam. So last week I guess it was right before the Chain Games birthday, correct? Now that we're 1 year old as a project, you did the week of announcements. And I think that people may have even underestimated what that week of announcements actually entailed. There is a lot to be unwrapped there, I guess you could say. But let's start off with partnerships. What
Sure.
type? We already talked about the first one, folks. And if you missed it, I'm not even going to ruin it. You need to rewind.
Just rewatch and watch the first 5 minutes.
Watch the first 5 minutes. Really make sure you go into the marketing aspect too. But beyond that, let's talk about partnerships, Adam. We've kind of already discussed some of it already. But is there anything else that you would like to discuss or allude to by chance?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we had a bunch of announcements coming out that week. One of the partnerships was obviously shopping.io. You can now use the chain token to buy any gear on Amazon, on eBay, on Walmart, on Etsy, gaming gear, or even just regular items on these platforms, these major e-commerce platforms, which gives the chain token even more utility and makes it more ubiquitous across the space. So we're super happy about that. Some other partnerships, I can't name any names quite yet since we're still working with legal, working out all the documentation, all the legalities. It's been going back and forth between our department and their departments. But we are talking to a handful of top gaming publishers. And these aren't like, just like these little small guys that you've never heard of or have created a mobile game. No, these are staples in the gaming industry. And this is the reason why, this is a great opportunity to talk about some of our new hires. This is why we brought on, and I've been building this stellar team of gaming industry executives so that we can walk in to the head of these major gaming manufacturers, gaming publishers, and skip the line. Basically, if I was to try to do this by myself, it would take us 5 years to go through this process. The fact that we've now brought on David Rosenbaum, who was the former president of Take-Two. We brought on Dan Jevons, who is the co-producer of the Sonic movie and has been in the gaming industry for 30 years. Wow. He was a senior editor at Game Fan magazine. These are the type of people that you need on the team to open up doors for us instantly so that we can skip the queue and skip the line and go straight to the top brass.
Wow.
So I know this has been a long time coming. We've been really building this team and working with this team and talking to a number of different gaming companies for almost 9 months now. This is corporate America, where it takes a long time for all this stuff to come to fruition. This isn't an instantaneous type of thing where you're one crypto project and you're talking to another crypto project, and boom, a week later you guys have a partnership that you can announce. Stuff like this takes time because it needs to go through the layers of bureaucracy that occurs at these big gaming companies. But we've been working on it, the entire time, endlessly, tirelessly, getting these partnerships and these getting everything aligned so that basically we can license top tier quality games and content and IP from these major gaming companies and bring it into the chain game system.
So that's a lot to unpack in itself. So what you're saying is that these new hires and these people, David and forgive me, Daniel, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And there's more. We have a team of 8 executives that are actually on board, and we're going to start announcing more of them in due time here. But they are all working essentially on these objectives of getting us aligned with these major gaming companies. And these major gaming companies understand what's happening. They're starting to see what's going on with the NFT world. They're starting to see what's going on with blockchain gaming and crypto in general becoming to mainstream. And let me tell you, they don't want to be left behind. They want in as well.
Yep. Hey, I need to make a quick pause. For those of you watching on Facebook, we have 3 different platforms we're streaming on. Clearly there's a scammer. Because I have access to this, Adam, I can delete as many as possible, but doing the best I can there. Do not deposit. We're not giving away any chain in this specifically because people will take advantage of it, and they like to spam this. So to the scammer who's doing that right now, you're not fooling anybody, and you're not going to win anything. And folks, do not participate in any of that. All right. So anyways, moving forward, on top of this, I have a very good friend who just also joined and you announced Andrew Guggens.
Yep.
He comes from Team Diverge. He's the content creator. I introduced the team with him. And
why don't you talk a little bit about Team Diverge?
Oh, absolutely. No, and before I even say this, I want to just make sure everybody hears this. When I bring up Googs, not only has he been he's been in crypto for a long time, but this dude is the hardest working, quietest, most humble, professional guy I've ever met. I knew that he would be a good fit. Content creator, dude has come on board with Chain Games, and he has been doing this now with Team Diverge for at least a year. I would almost say maybe even longer than that, but I can't confirm that. But if you don't know what Team Diverge is a gaming group owned by Juju Smith-Schuster, who is a wide receiver.
owns that
Yeah,
group?
Juju Smith-Schuster. This is somebody that Googs. I don't want to embellish this too much, but he has a very strong relationship, not just with Juju, but with the Team Diverge. He is their lead content creator and manager of the content creation, and he's been doing this at a very high level for a very long time. If you don't believe me, go check him out. Go follow Team Diverge on Instagram and Twitter specifically. I know they stream it, but Juju does a lot, and Googs has a hand in a lot of how this is going on. A lot of great team members on there, and I've actually had a great, wonderful conversation with them. No, obviously I'm unaffiliated, so I had a conversation with Googs. We talked about, he wanted me to explain the tournament stuff. There could even potentially be a future conversation with that, but obviously that is, speculative, and that is not anything official. And I don't want to make it sound like Adam's saying that, but because of that relationship, I think there's a potential for a lot of different things. And Juju, not only is he one of the most fun and entertaining NFL wide receivers probably to ever play the game, he's also an incredible gamer, and he's really, really good. And I can even go back to the fact when FaZe, the team FaZe, actually tried to sign him. And essentially, and I don't remember all the details specifically, but I do know for a fact he was like, hey, look, mad respect, mad love, FaZe, but I'm actually starting my own team, Team Diverge. So, like I said, give Googs a shout out. Make sure you show him some love. I think you'll probably see some updates in the way that content's created. Huh, Adam?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Googs is taking over all of our content creation. He's going to be creating videos. He's going to be creating shorts. He's going to be streaming himself actually on the Facebook group that we discussed. We have some other members of the team as well that are going to start streaming. And all this is going to be made into really polished content that we're going to start publishing on a regular basis so that we can really, capture that user base and show them not only how easy it is to use our platform, get involved, but really how you can make some money and profit off of your gaming skills.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want to reiterate, folks, the scammer, he's obviously, or she is paying attention. I don't want to be sexist towards the scammer, but do not deposit anything to that in the chat on Facebook. I've deleted everything I can, Adam, just for the record. So, all right, folks, moving on. There's additional things we've covered. If you're just joining us again, make sure you go back to the front. The first 5 minutes is a cannot miss. You better watch it. It is the most important part of this. But we've had so much to cover in this. We're going to get into questions from you guys. So make sure you drop your questions. I've seen a lot of good questions already, and we'll talk about that soon. But everything from, this brand new announcement of Adam, I don't know if you want to go into any more details on this, but we've got a Call of Duty a Facebook group that's centered around gaming and specifically the Call of Duty Warzone environment, something that specifically Chain Games has focused on, has been running tournaments on now for almost a year, probably, huh, Adam? And, with a lot coming out and a new map and in a humongous community of 260,000 people, I know there's a lot of information to cover on that will come in probably a separate, and it probably deserves its own announcement. I'm sure that will be more specific once you guys are finalized on terms. Adam, one question I did see in this, and we can cover this again, but what is the time frame? What would you say? Like, are we talking about like in 2022, or is this going to happen like, at some point? I mean, how would you describe when this will happen, this partnership?
Oh, it's happening. I mean, we're pretty much had a call last night where we were going over the final terms, and we're going to be ready to launch this in the next 2 weeks, at least initially in an invite-only phase, so we can start bringing in users a little bit slowly, and then we're just going to open it up to the world.
So would you say that when you do announce that and it actually begins to happen, I mean, will there be like some prizes, some giveaways for this community? Would there be incentives to come and play in these open tournaments once those start?
So it's interesting that you say such a thing. Obviously I was talking about our $500,000 marketing budget, and I just wouldn't be that surprised if some of that filters into some of these Call of Duty tournaments that are going to be going on in this group.
You know what? It's funny when you start offering prizes to people. People tend to show up, don't they?
They do. I mean, it's amazing how that works. Man.
So, folks, you build it, they will come. It's the chain of dreams, if you will. Now, moving forward. Yes, thank you. On the spot too, by the way.
We didn't go over that before. That's a good one.
No, that's right. On the spot. So so we went over that announcement. We just kind of briefly went over their marketing budget, as Adam just mentioned, $500,000 marketing budget, $500,000 over the next 12 months or so. Probably, look, Adam, nothing's ever as cheap nothing ever is on budget, right? Especially when it comes to crypto. So if you can stay under that, I'll be impressed. But hopefully you can manage that properly. And I have no doubts that you're prepared for that. But streamer acquisitions and user base, that kind of coincides. Folks, this has been a action-packed, jammed full of information AMA so far. Again, just covering everything. Play to earn update, Axie Affinity on steroids. Again, that's the coolest way you could ever put it. Get ready.
Let me just talk about that briefly, about
Let's
this
go.
new game that we're coming out with called Super Crypto Battle. It's a top-down battle arena style shooter. If you've ever played the game Brawl Stars by the group that made Clash of Clans, it's very similar type of game like that. Except the difference is that your characters, your weapons, your items are all going to be NFTs. And not only are they going to be NFTs, you're going to be able to upgrade these items and combine items together to make even new and better NFTs. And since these are all NFTs, these are going to be fully tradable on any NFT marketplace, whether that's OpenSea, whether that's the world market, whether that's Rarible. Basically, any platform that supports NFTs, you're going to be able to trade, buy, sell, get these items, and actually use them in game. And we already have a beta version of this game running, and it's freaking fun. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and I'm a little disappointed that I haven't had a chance to try that yet, Adam. So please,
we need to get you an Android phone, Joe. Right now, it's currently Android only. We're working on an iOS version. We're also working on a WebGL version, so you can play it on your computer, on your desktop. It's also in the plan to release a Mac OS and a Windows client as well.
You know, it would be cool if maybe one day you brought me on staff and I could sit there and you could get me an Android with that.
I'm going to send you an Android phone just because you're a good guy. I'll send you an Android phone.
Let's go.
You can start playing as well. Get
prizes
in on some
already
games.
happening. Prizes already being given out, folks. No, obviously I'm just joking, Adam. I actually do have a an Android tablet, so I could participate. So it's a big one. It's for my daughter. But all right. But look, huge news, guys. Really big stuff. I'm going to go ahead and start taking some questions, Adam.
Sure.
First, we'll start with the questions that have come in during this, and then we've got also the Telegram. So, folks, if you've put your question in Telegram, feel free to put it in here if you want us to answer it. I can get to it a lot easier, but I will be skimming through and trying to answer this. And, Adam, at any point, if you feel like you want to answer a question or if you have some specifics, feel free to start now. However you want to do this. Which would you like?
Sure, bring them on. Start laying them on me.
Okay, so let me
as many as possible.
Let me move up towards the top, and I'll try to put these on. And look, folks, if we've already answered this, or if it's already been in it, or if it's just not relevant, we can't answer everybody. We've probably received, just from me personally, when I told people in CCT that I was going to be hosting this AMA, was so excited about it. I got probably about 25 questions of my own just from people within the community that we lead over there. So let me get this going right now. So the first one was right here. I had it up. Okay. So we didn't talk about staking at all. And there is a new announcement with staking, right?
Oh, yeah. So actually last week, we released support for Matic staking on testnet. We are actually going to be moving that over to mainnet here very shortly. We're actually just waiting for our developer Mookie, who created the original dashboard and the staking dashboard, to get back from holiday. He took a much-deserved holiday. He was working feverishly getting that dashboard update ready and done. So he's taking a little vacay right now. He should be back very, very soon. And as soon as he's back, we're going to go ahead and move that into the mainnet dashboard. And you guys will all be able to be staking on Matic now for fractions of a penny in gas fees, which I know that's something that a lot of people have been asking for, especially with what's been going on with gas prices lately on the Ethereum network. For
sure. And I actually clicked on the wrong thing. Folks, Adam's never going to comment on price action, that kind of thing. So I apologize about that. I meant to click on this one right here. And we did cover a lot of this. This was earlier in the show, but I mean, I just want to reemphasize this. He says, would love to hear about upcoming marketing. It's discouraging to see lack of engagement with Twitter. I completely disagree with that. If you go and look at the engagement, there's purpose and there's intent, right? If you want a hype scam, project, go somewhere else. This is something that's being built for real. And I think Adam, I know that you don't always address these types of things. But it is important that it's addressed to the community by someone like myself, who's such a supporter of this. It frustrates me to see people complaining so much. Like, folks, this thing is booming. This project is absolutely success so far, right? Okay, so
and just to mention, just to talk about that as well. I mean, we just had our 1 year birthday, and what we've accomplished in 1 year is massive compared to a lot of these other projects and what we've pushed out. There's a lot of projects that are just a white paper. They're just hype. They haven't built anything. All they have is a token, and they've never capitalized on anything above and beyond that. We're building a blockchain gaming ecosystem. I've said this many times. We're not going to be, this type of crypto company or even a crypto gaming company that's just pushing out one product or one game. We're building an entire ecosystem to bring all the games underneath our belt. And that's a massive undertaking. And it takes time to lay the groundwork, to lay the framework, to make sure it's a scalable, secure, and robust solution.
So we already kind of hit this. What is the difference between Axie and chain games? And you did hit this already. Do you want to just briefly discuss that?
Yeah, sure. So Axie is an RPG play-to-earn game. They have two types of tokens. They have the Axie token and they have the SLP token. The SLP token is a play-to-earn token that you get for playing the game. And then when you want to mint new Axies, you combine your Axie token and your SLP token to create these new Axie NFTs that you can use in-game. And Axie, more power to them. They were really pushing the envelope when they started this, but it's just one game. That's a project that has created one game. We are creating an entire ecosystem that's going to encompass and engulf many, many different games. One of the things that we're really heavily working on right now is our Unity SDK. So that we can release that to the community so that not only can we use that internally on our own games that we're developing, but any developer, whether you're an indie developer, whether you're a AAA developer, publisher, you're going to be able to take this SDK and instantly plug it into our system. And it's going to be super easy and super seamless to just connect in to our smart contracts and really start interfacing with everything that we've built. And that's going to be huge. And that all relates to our end goal, basically creating the equivalent of an Apple App Store, a Google Play Store, that's going to be an open dApp store specifically for games that are going to be running on our platform. And that's one of the stepping stones that's necessary in order to get to that stage.
For sure. Now I'm about to put this question up because this is new to me, and I would really love to know because I've heard rumors about this myself, but you've never mentioned this to me. So Alex asks, "How's the GME discussions going? What is that, and what does that mean? Is there anything to this?"
The GME discussions, I have no comment on that.
Like a good no comment, or like as in.
I just can't comment on anything like that right now.
Man, I'm trying to read you. This is interesting. That's a great question, Alex. I'm sorry.
I don't even know how Alex has any of this information.
I don't either. And I mean, I'm trying to figure out what we're talking about. From. Yeah. I mean, look, by the way, I've also heard a rumor about that, but I mean, it's never been something that I've seen come from chain games. So
I know publicly that GameStop is very interested in the NFT space, in the crypto space. They have, actually, I think it's if you go to nft.gamestop.com. Yep, that's it.
Seems like do you know a lot about this?
They actually have their own NFT section set up on a website set up, which is kind of interesting. But aside from that, we don't have any comments.
Man, you got a good poker face. I'll give you that. All right, let's talk about the next subject, and that is Crypto Manco asks, "When can we play Apex or Valorant?" Excuse me.
Sure. So, like I said, we've hired a pretty extensive and experienced executive team to open up the doors with these AAA publishers, so that we can talk to them about getting premier access to their stat servers, to their APIs, so that we can pull this game data into our systems. Currently, Apex doesn't have any public methods that at least that we've investigated that are reliable to pull in this type of game data. One of the things that you need to realize is that when you have this type of system where there's monetary incentives, you have to ensure that the data that you're pulling in is 100% accurate and that there's no potential issues of the data being invalid or false. So there are some public sites and APIs that exist that say, hey, we can pull in the Apex game data. But from what we've tested, it hasn't been 100% reliable, and we're hesitant and we're very reluctant, honestly, to pull in data that's not 100% when it has to do with some sort of a monetary system that it's attached to.
Absolutely. All right. Next question. Miguel, what's up, Miguel? Dude, that's the NFT king right there. So hope you're doing good, Miguel. Thanks for the question. Will Chain Games be at the Blockchain Gaming Festival in Arlington, Texas, December 3rd through the 5th? Interesting.
You better believe it. And Joe, you're going to be there too, right?
Oh, yeah. Look, maybe at some point I'll have to defend my 2021 world champion belt. So it sounds like a good time to do it.
No, absolutely. And we're actually going to be at the Miami Crypto Conference in November. We are one of the premier sponsors there, and we're going to be running tournaments there as well using our automated bracketing system, just so you guys know. So if you're in the Miami area, you want to attend a cool conference, it's put on by Wayne Marcel, Blockchain Wayne, who's...
Actually, I'm wearing the hat.
Yeah, you are. And who's a good friend of ours. He's a good friend of the crypto community. He's been in CCT for a while, a mod of CCT, and he's
Oh man.
launching another crypto conference. So we're
Yep.
going to have a very prominent placement at that conference.
Absolutely. And the Miami blockchain experience is going to be awesome. I look forward to the blockchain gaming festival. That's going to be so super cool. It feels good that everything's kind of getting back to normal. I alluded to that earlier
I
when
miss
I went out to
conferences,
lunch.
man. I love
Right.
crypto conferences.
Man, they were so fun. I remember, man,
Such good
never
networking
mind.
events.
I need to stop before I get into some cool stories. But all right. What about PayPal integrations? Where are you at with that? Is that, I mean, this is also something I haven't heard. So some of these things may or may not have been discussed. Is that something that's on the table or working on?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we want to ensure that we have locked down first prior to really getting going with the PayPal integrations is that we want to ensure that we have the entire blockchain and crypto side down and ready to go. And, we have the new dashboard out. We have the bracketing system. We've been working very heavily on that component. Once all of that is ready to go and our SDK is ready, then we're going to start being able to pull in some of these other components we talked about, like PayPal, like fiat integration. We know this is a very big component to, even attracting gamers that aren't in the crypto side and getting really to those traditional gamers that, don't really know or understand the crypto space, but, are willing to try these esports platforms with like a provider such as PayPal. So that's in the works. It actually works already on our testnet in a sandbox environment. It's coming. It's in the works, just so you know.
Absolutely. Okay. Can we talk about anti-cheat? So I'm assuming this question is probably directly related to Call of Duty and what we were talking about with the announcement with the Call of Duty Facebook group. So I would assume that, but also, I mean, this gamifying and people working the system, that really does encompass everything. Do you want to maybe hit on both Call of Duty stuff and maybe then on the bigger level?
Sure. So anti-cheat is a complex item. The first thing is that you have to realize there's two methods of implementation that we have for our ecosystem. We have like overlays, like we have on Madden, NBA, Call of Duty, so on and so forth, where we don't actually control the source code, we don't control the games. We're just pulling in the stats and ingesting this data into our smart contracts. So we have to rely on the existing anti-cheat systems that they have in game. And then rely on that reporting on those statistics, and then determine whether or not users are cheating. If we do find that users are cheating, we have found users that have been cheating on Call of Duty. There's been even users in our Telegram and publicly who have called out users that are potentially abusing and exploiting the system. We will ban that user. We will ban wallet addresses. And we've actually even have started to do chain analysis where we can actually track transactions that are going from wallet to wallet. So if we detect any funny play going on in some of these types of overlay tiles that we don't directly control, we will definitely ban them and remove them from the system. Unfortunately, we are at the mercy of some of these game providers. So like Call of Duty, for instance, there is an issue sometimes with users cheating on the platform. The good thing is that as our system gets bigger, as we start having more and more users, the percentage of people cheating within these games is going to start to get more and more reduced. The benefit about having our own games, people who are directly connecting in with our SDK, these new developers and indie studios and so on and so forth that are going to be using our SDK, is that we're going to have direct control over the entire user flow and the entire process. So it's going to be a lot easier for us to detect any funny business or cheating that's going on and ban these users immediately.
Yeah, no, and also, and you may have mentioned this. I was reading through some of the comments too, or when you first started talking about it, that Call of Duty itself is, and they've really faced a lot of adversity trying to overcome the current state of where Call of Duty is. So this new map that's coming out, what, November-ish, they claim to have put the game in a position to be able to circumvent and prevent cheaters from actually entering the game. So I think another way of describing this, and this is the way that when we first talked about this, Adam, and you explained it to me, maybe an easier way for everybody to understand is, just like the blockchain, Chain Games wants to be as impartial to these tournaments and to these influencers as possible, right? Like this is a decentralized, mission. And that goes with, hey, look, here's the platform. So there's a lot of servers and a lot of, private games, these like with Halo coming out, there's going to be so many opportunities to be able to gamify this that, excuse me, not gamify this, to avoid cheating by being able to have literally the influencer, the person who's actually running these tournaments, and I think it's important, Adam, that maybe we talk about how the influencers are going to be, maybe not go into too much detail, because I know that you're still working on a lot of this, as you told me, but you're going to vet certain people. It's not going to be like you can just come sign up and become a influencer
Correct.
and a streamer. You're going to be very exclusive, especially early on. I think that, even there was an idea pitched around that these influencers would even have to have a certain amount either staked or in some capacity in their wallet, somehow the ability to say, hey, look, we've committed to this, and look, we're actually committed to this long term, which will give some sense of accountability, I guess, maybe to how these influencers are working this. But long and the short is this, is that, when you look at the big picture, it's really going to come down to the influencer and their community. If you got a bunch of cheaters in your community, how else will they find out about it, right? A lot of these community, leaders, these influencers, they have relationships with their communities, and some of these can be big streamers that have, a million views, but their Discord might only be 150, 200 people, deep, and whether they're watching it live or just playing in the tournaments. I think that it's very important to say that these streamers are going to have to take some accountability for that. And trust me, as I've already witnessed, because I've had probably, Adam, as you know, I probably had 50 people who are streamers be like, hey, Joe, I know you're working with this, company. And I'm like, hey, look, I'm just a huge supporter, and I'm a big time advocate and ambassador almost, for this platform. But, I could introduce you to Adam, and Adam, you've been like, look, I'm overloaded with these people, so clearly there's a lot of interest.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a vetting process that's going on to get these streamers and these influencers on board. And we're going to implement a similar system to kind of like what you have on Twitter, where you're going to have like a verified check mark if you're a verified streamer, and you could go ahead and then create these tournaments yourselves. So it's not just going to be an open-ended thing where anyone can just start creating a tournament. That's going to get a little hectic. It's going to get messy. It's just ripe for problems. So we're going to ensure that the users, at least initially, that are coming on and offering these privatized tournaments are vetted individuals and legitimate streamers.
All right, moving on. When will Chain Games merch be released? This is something else that we didn't add in there, but you talked about.
So we have a graphic designer right now that's creating a new logo and a new look for us.
Whoa! This is news, bro.
So as soon as that's done, and we release the look and the brand, we're going to open up a dropship merch site. So basically, you're going to be able to get jerseys and T-shirts and polos and hats and whatever else dropship directly to you. Yep, gaming jerseys.
Let's go! I love it.
And who knows? That may even turn into a Chain Games esports team that streams.
I'm liking where. Hey, do you need a coach or a manager for that? Hey, let me throw my hat into the ring on that. Hey, here's a really interesting comment. It's not really a question, but Chrissy, I really like what you just said here. A lot of people don't understand crypto, but a lot of you from Chain Games, meaning, the community, can't really understand games. You need some people who are already played some games because they can't speak with a player about Call of Duty, by example. And obviously there's a language barrier here to an extent, but what he's saying is that essentially that there's a lot of this cultural understanding that maybe people in crypto don't understand. I really think that there's a lot to this, by the way. Just like I love the analogy. If you're not in crypto, it's hard to understand crypto, right? So also, if you're not in gaming, it might be a little hard to understand. There's a lot to be said. And I think that you're going to see how much these streamers really are begging essentially for a platform like what we've talked about today. Okay. I remember hearing something about this. Adam, feel free to correct me. I don't want to put that on record as if it's fact. Influencers could stake a certain amount. Yeah, I don't want to. If that's the case.
So we don't have the complete logistics worked out for that, but that's one of the ideas that we're potentially throwing around.
Okay, already love this AMA. Hey, appreciate the shout out, WJE. Never mind, I'm not even going to try to say the whole name. Just one more thing, guys. When Chain Games will run the first official tournament? Interesting question.
So we're hoping within the next 2 weeks or so that we're going to launch that first tournament on that Facebook group that we were talking about.
Awesome. Okay, Adam, if you want to give me like a minute for you to just talk about whatever you want, I'm on the Telegram now. I know we want to kind of keep this under an hour. We are at 48 minutes and counting. So feel free to do that, or I can go ahead and just start with the basic questions. Go ahead and tell me.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the new games coming to the platform. Like I was mentioning, the Super Crypto Battle. Solitaire is actually fully running on testnet. What we're doing right now is we have a external development studio that's kind of reskinning it, making it look a little prettier, a little sexier. So that's coming out very, very soon. Chess is getting close to completion. We're going to be releasing that to testnet soon as well, and then that's going to go through the same process of moving over to this external development studio. So all these games have been created internally, and then all the logic has been done in house. And basically, what we're doing is we're going to kind of be reskinning them and making them look a little more graphically appealing by moving them over to some of these other external studios. So that's on the roadmap. The Super Crypto Battle, I don't have a date yet of when that's going to be launched. However, I can let you know that there is a beta version floating around that we've been playing online. It's a blast. You can even see screenshots of it on Twitter from a few days ago. And we'll probably end up releasing a video here, I would say, in the next few weeks. So you guys can see some live footage of what it looks like. And I would just say like the SDK is, we're really working hard on getting this SDK launched, and there's going to be a very, very, very large announcement around this SDK, which I can't go into too many details right now, but a very large announcement is gonna encompass this SDK as well.
For sure. Okay, so I have the very first question, and it kind of goes along with a little bit of what you just said, and this comes from, it looks like, I think it's Abshay Shahai, okay? And Abshay says, the thing which I noticed at first when I opened the website, AAA games will be integrated with Chain. That's a cool concept. But is the goal changed now that you have started making your own games on the SDK and now coming with Battle Arena? Not saying it's a bad thing. It's actually good, but there's been no words or update when someone asked about the AAA games partnership. We've already covered a little bit about this, but he would like an update. He was very respectful. Wasn't trolling or anything. But would you like to comment on that at all, Adam?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, we envision Chain Games being an all-inclusive gaming ecosystem. It's going to be games that we're producing ourselves. It's going to be external development studios that are utilizing our SDK. And then it's going to be these overlay games that we've discussed that, we're going to be pulling in stats from. And in addition, it's going to be these AAA titles and publishers that we're going to start working with directly, which is why we've hired, this stellar executive team to really get integrated with our ecosystem. So, I would say all the above. That's all happening.
For sure. Next question kind of goes back to the hires, and they asked, what are the roles and what will these new hires be doing? If you want to just quickly cover, I know that's probably not just a 2-minute conversation, especially as talented and in depth as their histories go. But if you could just give a brief overview, especially of the two major executives.
Sure. So I would say about a little more than half of the executives that we've hired are strictly focused on getting us exclusive licensed IP and content that we can pull into the Chain Game system. So for instance, take one of your favorite games from the past. We've been talking to these companies, and we want to bring that game and that title and license it on the Chain Games network so that we can use the rights and the content and the artwork and the name and everything, and basically forge a partnership with them to bring that into the esports crypto blockchain arena. So I would say that's what we have a lot of them working on. We have a chief product officer that we recently brought on that we're going to be announcing here in about 45 days or so. He's obviously working on product design. He's working with the team developing the Unity SDK. He's working with external development studios on content we're creating internally, as well as external development studios. Dan is working as well on IP procurement. His role is actually executive producer, so he's heavily involved with the dev gaming side and testing things, ensuring that it's up to our standards of quality. That the storylines are accurate, so on and so forth.
Awesome. All right. So the next question is from David Satoshi on Telegram. David asked like 4, really 5 questions in this. I'm going to condense this. We've kind of covered a lot of it, but I'm going to read this last statement. All the awesome work you guys are doing is leading up to the full release marketing of Chain Games. A time frame of 1, 3, 6, 12 months would make a huge difference and would mean the community could get stoked with every single announcement. And I tend to agree. And obviously, Adam, as close as we've been, I've given you my insight, and you've always been, an ear to listen to one extent or the next. And I think I'm not the only person. He's not the only person who's kind of wanted some clarity on that. And you've you've done your very best, and I know that you've been kind of handcuffed in a lot of ways because some of these things you're working on just cannot be spoken about until either they happen or they don't happen. Then you wouldn't even talk about them anyways, right? So that being said, you're not here to just pump things up and announce, Justin Sun style. But what you are, I mean, you want to be honest and be as transparent with the community. What are these? I mean, as far as marketing goes, I think that's one of the main questions, especially in CCT, that I get. We've touched on it a little bit. What would you say, as far as timeframes and the extent and how big is this? Are these marketing events going to be?
So, I mean, we're starting out right away with this Facebook group, and we're going to have some pretty big events and tournaments going on there. So that's going to be the initial start of it. Like I said, we're going to be sponsoring the Miami Crypto Conference. It's coming on in November. We're one of the premier level sponsors there. We're going to have banners there. We're going to have prominent placement across the conference. We're going to have custom gaming tournaments that are going on at the conference as well. So a lot of placement going on there. Mainly, once we get this SDK ready to go and pushed out to these developers and these other gaming studios, that's when the main push is going to start. And not only is it going to be marketing from our side, but there's going to be joint marketing that's going to be going on because they're going to be marketing the game. We're going to be marketing our platform as well, and it's going to be like a double whammy where marketing is going to be coming in from different angles, basically to acquire the users from these third-party external development companies, as well as us pushing it internally to the crypto community.
For sure. All right. Next question. Abshay had another one, and this was a good one too. I would love to know this myself. So he asks, is there a possibility of working with traditional gaming companies and gaming consoles like Sony PS5, Xbox, Nintendo, etc.?
So currently we do support console-based games. So NBA, Madden, FIFA, Call of Duty. You can link your Xbox Live account. You can link your PlayStation Network account, your Battle.net account. The end goal for Chain Games has always been to have direct integration on the console. So basically you load up Madden, you go to Battle Online, and Chain Games is there with our logo and our symbol, and you can just go instantly and start playing against a user and play for tokens or play for fiat. That's going to take a little bit of time. That's not something that we can just dive into instantly that Sony's gonna add into their platform. What it's going to take is it's going to take for us to have a decent user base in order to approach Sony and say, hey, Sony, we have 500,000 players, or we have 1 million players playing every single day, all these different types of games. That's when Sony's going to take interest in us. And that's when we're going to be able to approach, some of these big boys and get them to integrate us into their platforms.
Yes. Awesome. All right. So another question that's come up, not just in Telegram, but Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, is what about exchanges? People hey, gas fees are high. We get it. Binance Chain, some people don't use it, right? Is there any additional plans for exchanges? I mean, obviously, at some point, a lot of these exchanges are going to pick up to a chain on its own, and this is what happens a lot of times.
Sure.
But and I'm sure you've been contacted. Absolutely. So, by all means, Adam, anything that you want to add to that?
So, I can let you guys know we are constantly contacted by an assortment of centralized exchanges, ranging from mid-level tiers to exchanges that you've never even heard of. And I have kind of a distaste for a lot of centralized exchanges. Especially with what happened with the Bilaxi the other week.
Absolutely.
Bilaxi was hacked. Their hot wallet was hacked. All their ERC20 tokens were taken. The hacker took the chain tokens, and within a couple of hours, he dumped them all on Uniswap, and he took 45 ETH worth of liquidity from our Uniswap pool.
Yep.
So I'm really, truthfully, not very thrilled with a lot of these centralized exchanges. There are maybe 5 or 6 centralized exchanges that I actually want to be on, and I would actually, potentially even pay to get on these exchanges. And it's, Binance, Coinbase. KuCoin is probably one of the ones that aren't in that same tier as Coinbase or Binance, but I have some respect
for KuCoin is
KuCoin.
At this point. I feel like KuCoin is in that tier 1 now.
But there's a lot of exchanges that talk to us, and they want to bring us on board. Sometimes they want us to pay exorbitant fees to get on board, which I'm not willing to pay. I'd rather spend that money on marketing, on development, on so on and so forth. Right. We have adequate exchanges right now, in my opinion, for our level of where we're at. We have, I would say, Gate.io is a very reliable exchange that users can get a chain with USDT. They can get, with ETH. We just got added to MEXC, and they actually enabled Matic withdrawals for us, so that users can immediately get their chain into their Matic wallet. Wow. And they don't even have to pay gas fees for it. So, I think that's a great onboarding solution for our users. Obviously, having like a Coinbase or a Gemini or the top 5 top 6, including KuCoin, would be preferred and preferential. And that's going to come with due time. But I'm not willing to settle for some of these second tier exchanges that are potentially going to get hacked. and it's going to result in liquidity being pulled from Uniswap as a result. I think the Uniswap and Binance Smart Chain Pancake Swap experience is at least good enough now for the crypto-centric people. For the non-crypto-centric people, we have Gate.io, we have NextC, and hopefully KuCoin in the near future.
That would be awesome. And appreciate that. And remember, folks, Adam's doing his best, and he's trying to give us as much information as possible. Some of these things, maybe there's things that he's not saying. Maybe there's things that he's got to be careful how he says. Obviously he wants to be honest and as straightforward as possible. Okay, here's a really cool question. Plans to partner with ZSS Becker since he is now hyper focused on crypto gaming. Obviously, we just got a brand new NFT sneak peek into his crypto cart. What's going on with Mr. Becker?
So Alex Becker is a big supporter of our project. He found us on his own. He does his own research. He likes gaming projects. We follow him on Twitter. If you follow him on Twitter, you know that he's super involved and a big advocate of crypto gaming. He thinks crypto gaming is the future and is like a counter-cyclical industry, so that if there's downturns in the market, gaming really isn't going to go anywhere. And this has already been proven in traditional markets. For instance, the pandemic hit and gaming companies actually made more money than they made previous quarters because people are home and they have disposable income. Instead of going to the mall, instead of going to the bars or to the clubs or going out to social events that are closed or limited, they're spending their money on gaming instead. So gaming is one of these industries that just doesn't go away during market downturns, during economic downturns. And we feel that we can capitalize on that as well, and that's what Alex feels as well, as you can tell from his post. So Alex is a big supporter of us. He did contact us about how he could be involved. We told him that we would create a crypto cart NFT for him, and he kind of gave us his input about making it like a VW bus with his awesome character driving it, which he loves. We're going to be pushing that out to testnet very soon, and we're going to be doing a drop of this NFT that you can race with him. And who knows, he may be involved a little more in the future as well. We'll just have to see. And once we have additional information or anything concrete that we can share, we'll definitely share it.
I mean, hey, Chain Gang, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm a huge Chain Gang supporter, and I haven't got my Ford Raptor style NFT crypto cart yet. So, I mean,
maybe it's coming. You never know.
Well, I mean, it would be wonderful to be told that, or
with the Chaino belt, you're going to be driving it around with the Chaino belt on.
I mean, exactly. I mean, I'm the Chaino world champion. Like, I feel like I should get some love here. Maybe if I can get CCT all riled up, they'll get mad at you, and I get a poll or something up there and say, "Hey, CCT, make Adam drop you a bunch of Joe Blackburns and a Ford Raptor." Maybe you can't.
I'll tell you what. If you get a poll going on CCT. And you can get let's pull out a number. If you can get 1,000 votes,
1,000 in a group, Facebook doesn't even allow that kind of interaction.
1,000. Oh, okay.
How about 10?
10. That's a little short.
All right.
We'll think of some number here. If you can get a certain amount of votes or interaction on a post, and you can get people's like yes or no. Do you want to see a Joe Blackburn Chaino world champ? Like that image that Wayne sends around of like your head on top of like the Ultimate Warrior with with the Chaino belt. That will be your NFT, and we will make a crypto card for it.
What I need to do is I need to challenge O'Neill, who's my arch nemesis on Facebook. Yeah. I need to challenge him to a crypto cart race, and maybe
you can make a Bear Moon cart for him, and then you can have your Chaino.
Who's the better man? And I'm just the
banking on you.
Moon. Oh, duh. I mean, I'm a gamer, dude. O'Neill, I mean, he's a big dude. Like, someone was like, this is back when Jake Paul and everybody was like, fighting everybody. I guess he still is doing that. But, someone threw out, was like, hey, there should be a celebrity crypto coin trader or celebrity crypto, boxing match. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. You look at O'Neill's picture and you're like, yeah, I can whoop this dude. And I clicked on his profile and the dude's like 6'6", 285, played football. I'm like, oh God. I just deleted the comment. I'm like, no, not happening.
You may be able to dance around a little bit, but man, one shot from him and you'd probably be going down.
I'm 36 now. Back, even like 3 or 4 years ago, probably, but I'm probably the same speed as him now too, which is, you just degrade I'm not a small guy either. I'm 6'2". I mean, I'm not 6'6", but I mean, I'm by the way, look, I got nothing but respect for O'Neill. He's a troll, but he's a character, and he knows how to get engagement. He's a fun person to have around. So if you know who he is or know who I'm talking about, cut him some slack.
He loves to stir the pot.
Yes. And he's great for engagement. Shoot.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So, I think we covered a lot of things. There's a few more, Adam, and I've got to find them up here.
Yeah, let's take like two more questions.
Okay. And if you look, folks, we'll continue to do these. Adam, hopefully you'll choose me to do your third one. I probably asked you some questions that I probably shouldn't have, so don't be too mad at me, but it's good. These people are genuinely interested in, just to even have a reason why either you can't address something or to kind of give an explanation why they might be quiet, So this is the next most popular comment I'm getting, Adam. And this is probably a hard one to answer because Cardano still has yet to produce the proper technology, I think. That's just my layman way of saying it. Are you guys going to be available on Cardano?
So Cardano built the ERC20 connector. Their smart contracts have not gone live yet. Actually, I think they're actually supposed to go live next week. Maybe it's on the 14th,
so.
If I recall.
Yep, something like that.
If I recall correctly.
We're
definitely exploring. I can tell you that we've been messing around with Cardano testnet, and we're potentially interested in exploring other chains. But really, it's going to come down to adoption. So we're going to kind of, take a backseat driver approach, kind of see what's going on. If there is a lot of movement, if there are a lot of users that are willing to utilize this platform, and if there are chains that have a lot of users and have the user base on there and want us to move to that chain, we'll consider it.
Interesting. I'm interested, and I'm rooting for Cardano. I'm rooting for ADA. I hope it's everything that everybody wants it to be that is supporting them. But September 12th, that's what he said. That's what
a lot of this also comes down to ETH 2.0. In my opinion, when ETH 2.0 comes out, a lot of these competing chains that say that they're gonna, they're faster than the ETH right now, or they have cheaper gas fees. When ETH 2.0 comes out, all that's going to change. And we want to be on the most decentralized platform and the platform that has the most developers and is the most widely used. So these other chains better hurry up and get everything in order and everything in gear. Because in my opinion, when ETH 2.0 comes out, there's not going to be very much competition.
I completely agree, by the way. But as Adam has proven, he is impartial to what chain it's on. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, we launched
Matic.
We launched our gaming contracts on Matic literally a week or two after we went live last August. We saw, that was during DeFi summer. We saw gas fees explode, and we realized that we needed to have a layer 2 scaling solution, and we implemented Matic. We were actually one of the first gaming projects of like a handful, maybe like 5 or 6 existed at that point in time on Matic. And now a lot of projects have moved over to Matic. They're now called Polygon. They're a massive force now in the layer 2 scaling solution war. So we're not opposed to going that route and operating on these different chains. It's just a matter of time frame, user base, and really these are stopgaps before ETH 2.0 in my opinion.
Absolutely. Okay. I was looking to see. I think it's kind of been answered, but I think it's such a important direct question. Adam, one more. This will be the last one for today, folks. We'll do another one unless Adam, you have one specifically you want to answer. But Abshay, who's been all over this, he was commenting in the Telegram. But I mean, I really appreciate his questions. I think they're great. Abshay or Abhay, excuse me. I'm bad at pronunciation, so forgive me. But what do you think about chain games as a Kickstarter for games of the future, like a launchpad?
It's definitely something we've considered. As you guys know, I'm also the co-founder of TrustSwap, and there's a TrustSwap gaming launch that's actually going on the TrustSwap Launchpad. And it's actually something that I've kicked around with Jeff as a potential idea of partnering up with TrustSwap and kind of being like the gaming launchpad where games will launch through the TrustSwap Launchpad, and then they come into the Chain Games ecosystem and they connect into our smart contracts. And I think it would be like a perfect marriage.
Hey, Sheldon Evans, he's a supporter. I saw that they had said something else. I don't know if you want to speak on him directly or if there's any contact, but he's a great dude. Love his perspective.
Love Sheldon. Love what he does in the space. I've never actually had any direct contact with him, me or anyone in the on the team. He's just a supporter of crypto and blockchain and blockchain gaming, and just covered us organically a couple of times.
Absolutely. All right, so Adam, I think at 1 hour and 7 minutes, this has been a overwhelming success. We appreciate everybody's questions. As someone just hopped in, C2011 from Twitch has asked, what's the massive announcement? I guess we can just quickly overview it again and kind of hit all the bullet points, but I really encourage you to get the details at the very beginning of this. It was absolutely phenomenal show. Adam, you've done a great job with this, but before we sign off, I guess just to overview, Adam, if you want to take it from the top as far as, what was the massive announcement?
The massive announcement is that we have forged a partnership with one of the largest gaming groups on and communities on Facebook. They have over 260,000 members. We are going to be their exclusive partner for launching tournaments, for talking about chain games, for getting user engagement. And we feel this is a great opportunity to tap into literally a user base of over 250,000 users.
Absolutely. Please hit those hearts and likes, everybody, for Adam. He's absolutely just working his tail off. I know him and the whole team, all the new hires. It may seem, progressively, even in crypto, it might even seem slow, but it's not. And I'm telling you, behind the scenes, nobody's working harder than this guy. This guy absolutely just embodies the word of leader, CEO, founder. He hears, trust me, he hears what you guys are saying when you think he's being quiet. He's not. He's actually very loudly talking. It's just quiet to the upfront. There's no reason to push something that isn't official yet, right? So just be patient. I think there are very, very green skies ahead, and I'll say it like that. I know, Adam, that's not something you would probably want to comment on, but I'm very bullish and very, very excited about the future of this project. And that's in everything. That's in use case. That's in implementation of the SDK. That's in actual, a user base with real streamers who are doing this on a day-to-day basis. Why wouldn't they want to use this platform? That's kind of been Adam's goal from the very beginning: is build something. And it will, as I said, build it and they will come. I actually said something a lot cooler. I can't remember now, but nevertheless, Adam, any final words? What would you like to lead off with?
I just want to thank the Chain Games community, the Chain Gang. We love the support that you guys throw us. We take your suggestions. We're always talking about it internally, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Telegram. We always take what you're saying into consideration. We just love the support. We have a great community. We hope to build this community moving forward through all these different partnerships that we're forging. And if you want to get more information, follow us on Twitter, Real Chain Games. Follow me on Twitter. Join our Telegram. Join our Discord, and you'll be able to get a lot of information about what's going on with this project.
Yep, check out the website.
And just to thank you, Joe. Thank you for hosting another AMA for us,
bro. I would not want to be anywhere else except right here next to you hosting this AMA. It means so much to me that you would consider me as the host. And as much, I try to be, folks. I'm an absolute fanboy both of Adam and this project, so I try to be as impartial as possible. But it's really just very difficult. Maybe one of the hardest things.
You're a gamer at heart, and you love gaming, you love crypto, so this is a perfect combination for you. I understand.
It is.
Me too. I'm the same way.
It really is. And I mean this, Adam, you've done a phenomenal job. I know more about you as a human being than most people, especially in crypto, will ever know. And there's very few people who get that look about you. And I can't say this enough. You embody everything that I look for in that leadership position, as I said earlier. And I appreciate what you do and what you've done and what you're continuing to build here. And Chain Gang, let me assure you, I'm willing to put my credibility on this man. He is an absolute phenomenal human being. He has accountability. He's honest, and he's the hardest working dude in crypto. Until next time, everybody. Adam, anything else?
That's it. Thanks, guys.
See you, Chain Gang.